The Cowboys got a big win on the road last night in Arizona, 28-17. Dak Prescott finished with a touchdown run and 2 touchdown passes in the win. The Cowboys are now 2-1 and are in a 3-way tie for first in the NFC East. We're joined by Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Joy. It's a
great
morning, right?
Let me get a view.
I thought about you.
It's a great morning, Greg.
Skip is living high right now.
I was living low, man. I was a pool of sweat when it was over.
The rough first half.
Sweat.
Cardinals are a mess.
How impressed were you with the Cowboys last night?
I was impressed. I was impressed. I'm just gonna get right to it. Dak Prescott. And I don't want to make Skip feel too good, but there was 2 things that stood out to me. Dak Prescott ability to extend the plays and be accurate with where his ball placement was. There was one play, 1st and 10. He's eluding tackles. He rolls out, spins out, and he finds Terrence Williams on the sideline. Hard play to make.
Who did a play like this? I remember a play like this.
Oh yeah, last year.
You remember that game, Skip? The divisional?
Very, very similar. But it's
Wait, does that mean that Dak Prescott is reminding us of, dare I say, Aaron Rodgers?
No,
not
I
at
think
all.
that's where we're heading.
But with this play, it is so hard for a quarterback, a right-handed quarterback, to roll out left and open his shoulders, square his shoulders up, and make that throw as accurate as he did. Then he had a couple other plays to Bryce Butler, the touchdown, the 37-yard touchdown throw, where Bryce Butler makes a great play. And I talk about Bryce Butler and I talk about Terrence Williams. Who am I not talking about?
I don't know, Skip. Who?
He made a great play.
Oh, he bullied his way in the end zone.
But it was just a physical play.
It
right?
was. The problem, what I am disappointed about with the Cowboys, specifically Dez Bryant, even though they had a great showing last night.
Yep.
He's falling out of my number one grace. He exposes himself at the line of scrimmage. He allows every defender to put hands on him at the line. He shows no suddenness at the line.
Totally
now, when he gets the ball in his hand, he is special.
Yes.
But he's struggling to get separation and create separation at the line. That's why what's impressive with Dak Prescott, he's like, I'm not locked in on this guy. I got to use everybody
real
else.
Quick, last night, big picture. He catches one ball in the first half that goes for -3, did Dez Bryant. Then he caught just a zone beater where he's completely underneath
Short
the
cross
zone.
over the ball.
Yeah, and he catches it and turns up and takes on the entire zone, the entire secondary, and carries it 12 yards into the end zone.
Absolutely.
So that's all you got from 88 last night. Go ahead.
It was impressive. But when you look at the grand scheme of this game and the Dallas Cowboys, the way they won, it was because of the play of Dak Prescott. His ability to protect the ball, be able to extend plays, and be accurate outside the pocket. That was what I was most impressed with.
That's what I was impressed with. But I guarantee you, Skip, if you look at Dak's completion percentage and his quarterback rating, throwing to Dez Bryant versus everybody else on that team, I bet you it's lower throwing to him because he has to be perfect. Because there's little separation and he can't run he's only going to run X amount of routes. And because there's no separation, you've got to be perfect. If you're not perfect, it's picked or it's incomplete. You see, the other guys are running routes. They're running comebacks. They're running square outs. They're getting out of the field. Dez, not so much. What I was impressed with most, Greg, is that when you look at the Cowboys, they possessed the ball for under 25 minutes, 45 plays, gave up, the Cards ran 30 more plays, and they won a ball game.
Think about what you just said.
Yeah.
75 to 45 plays, and you won? And you won convincingly?
And almost 10 minutes time of possession, Skip. So what that tells you is that when you have so few plays, if you turn it over, you're going to get beat. So you have to be perfect. And he was.
Turned it over none.
And
by the way, they forced no turnovers either, so you're not even feasting off a Carson Palmer pick six or whatever,
exactly.
Right?
And the thing, what's so impressive is that normally you see a young quarterback, they start to press because they want to make it happen, Skip. I just got to make this play. And you try to fit a ball that's not there. Or you get careless and the ball gets taken out of your hand from a swipe from behind. But he guarded the ball. They only put the ball up 18 times. They only had 45 total plays. And the thing is, they're stopping Zeke on first down. So that's why their third down percentage is so low, Skip.
2 for 9 last night.
Because now
put up 28 points.
It's normally 31-3. Now it's 5-7, 7-9. Where your third down percentage is going to go down the longer the distance is for you to get to that first down. You have to give them credit. You had to be impressed with what you saw with them offensively, but I'm concerned, Skip, and you must be also, because you see a lot of penetration on first and second down when they're trying to run the ball to Zeke. You saw a lot of pressure that you didn't see last year on Dak when he's back to throw the football. So I'm a little concerned, impressed that they won, but I'm concerned with how they won.
You know what I thought? I loved ultimately what happened, and I was often horrified by what happened because I thought it was rather miraculous that they pulled off 28-17 with all the things we just talked about. Cole Beasley was the leading receiver last year for this football team for the whole year for 17 games. He caught one ball last night for 4 yards. So far through 2 games, Jason Witten had been the leading receiver, catches and yards for this team. Last night, he caught one ball very early for 3 yards. I think it was on the opening series when Dak just had to throw it into the flat just to give up play, and they punted. That's all you got from those 2 guys? Really? And Dez had 1 play that he made, and you won? How did you do that? It came down to number 4, because in very few opportunities, he showed you once again, he is the rarest of commodities. He is a mature, young leader who makes key, crucial plays without making mistakes. Last year, he was 23 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And this year, they got smoked in Denver, thanks to your Broncos, who played their Super Bowl. I think they did, because then they were flat going to Buffalo.
Skip, we shortchanged them.
Yeah.
They had the ball 23 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah.
I said less than 25.
No,
they had the ball less than 24.
It's basically 36 to 24.
Yes!
But the plays are the thing. When you're 75 plays to 45 plays, are you kidding me? Dak Prescott, whatever, they all sound like cliches, but you want to talk about, as Jason Garrett said, mental toughness, spirit that inspires everybody to follow him. Again, I was sweating because it almost went to 14 to zip. And I'm thinking at 14, we're not going to come back from 14 because it's a crazy place to play. It was hot. There's a lot of dehydration going on. There's a lot of cramping. Scandrick cramped at the end. Sean Lee cramped. And I'm thinking 14-0. And fatefully, there was a holding call that erased the 14-0. And then they missed the field goal. And here came Dak. And what did he finally say? My offensive line is getting its golden tails whipped. He didn't actually say this, but he's thinking it because this is supposed to be the vaunted best line in football. They couldn't run block and they could not pass block for much of the first half last night. And the quarterback finally said, okay, we got a zone read play. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep it this time because my man 21 here, he's going nowhere. And whoosh, pulls it back, takes it off right tackle, turns it up, and he says, you know what? I probably shouldn't do this, but we need this right now. And he goes airborne and backflips over 2 defenders into the end zone, a highly dangerous play that I do not recommend that he does on a routine basis. But did it not change the flow? It's what his team said. Aha, we got a chance. It's 7-all. We don't deserve to be 7-all at halftime, but it was. And then he makes just 2 throws, and they're both incredibly uncharacteristic plays where the first one's just a broken play. I'm going to bolt right, and this defender is all over me. He's tracking me down, and I'm going to whip it across my body on the dead run. I'm going to throw a strike into the end zone to Bryce Butler, not to 88, but to Bryce Butler, who is a stud, man. He's 6'3", 220, originally recruited and played at USC, and he is timed at 4.4. So he's got everything that our man Dez no longer has. That ability to get behind people. So he says, I better go to that guy. And he went to him, and then the next time is a call bootleg, and he does it again. And it's another game breaker, 53 yards that set up the Zeke touchdown.
Skip, you don't have to be fast. Look at the guys that's in the Hall of Fame. You look at the Chris Carters, the Tim Browns, the Jerry Rices. They weren't no 4.4, 4.3 guys, but they could get separation.
They got separation.
You have to understand. The route tree, the book of the route tree must be open. Because if a DB knows that you're only going to run 3 to 4 routes and he's not worried about anything else, you're going to catch the Dickens getting away from him.
Well, Shannon, to your point about Dez, since Dak came into the league, the only teammate he has a completion rate under 50% is Dez. And that's dead last of the 15 players that Dak has thrown to in his career.
That's what happened in Denver.
Yeah.
Too much, too dead.
Yep. Was Richard Sherman's hit on Marcus Mariota dirty? We'll discuss that.